So welcome to our Monday morning yoga class. And today we're going to do an energetic class with a little bit of core, some little twists to kind of get into our digestion. So we're going to start with an oil and we're going to do a couple of energizing breathing practices today. So I'm using Bergamo, the oil of self-acceptance. And just take a little moment. Just arriving in your breath. Maybe making a little intention for your day, for your week, a word, a feeling, a thought. And we're going to start either in cross-legged or I'm in hero pose. So I've got my shins and my thighs together and I'm sitting kind of on my knees. I'll go back a little bit more so you can see me. And we're going to start with a breathing practice. So if you've done Kundalini yoga, they call this breath of fire. It's like breath of fire. It is breath of fire. And in Hatha, we call it Bhastrika. In hormone yoga, it's called Bhastrika KD. And it's a slightly softer version. Like the kind of the traditional version of this is really powerful. So there are different levels that you can kind of take it in. And it means bellows breath, Bhastrika, and it's even. So the belly comes out and the belly goes back. So Laura, it's the breathing that we did in hormone yoga quite a lot. So it's better to put your hands on your belly and then you can feel it. Okay. So as you inhale, you'll see my hands. And as you exhale, they go back. Inhale, exhale, back. Inhale, exhale. But you can do it more slowly. So if it feels too much, you can just go. You probably can't hear me breathing because I've got my external noise thing off today because of the wind here. But it's an inhale, exhale, inhale. Turn it off actually so you can hear me just for this bit. Or is there somebody else waiting? I hope there's no one waiting to come in. No. Okay. Right. So we're going to do 10 pumps together. So take an inhale, and I'm going to invite a little retention of the breath at the end. And what you're also going to do is bring your tongue, roll it, and put it on the top of your palate just to stimulate the pituitary gland, the master gland, to get our hormones working. Okay. So we're going to do 2 rounds of this. So take an inhale to start. Exhale, clear the breath. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Inhale, tongue to palate. Engage pelvic floor, retain for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Exhale. And this is good for brain fog, and it's also good for the digestion, for bloat. Inhale again. Exhale. One more round. Last 2. Inhale, tongue to palate, retain the breath, pelvic floor. For 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Exhale. Hold on empty. For 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Inhale. Exhale, sigh it out. And let's come to all fours. Taking the fingers nice and wide, press into the palms, knees in alignment to hips, tuck the toes, and start to circle, moving into the spine, waking up the spine today on this Monday morning. And maybe you want to go bring your bum all the way back to the heels. Nice deep breaths, really energizing all the cells of your body. One more, sigh out anything you need to. It's Monday, we're entering our week in a positive state of mind. And then bringing the feet together, knees a little bit wider, release back into an extended child's pose or a version of. Inhale, pressing up to all fours, bring your knees in alignment to your hips. I do like to use a blanket or a towel for my knees, but it's optional. Tuck your toes An option to stay with cat-cow. So you inhale, look forward, and you exhale, arch the spine, or press into the hands, lift the legs and come up into a downward facing dog. And we're just going to pedal out the feet here. So right heel comes down, left heel, give the head a little shake so you're not holding on, and your gaze is towards your feet or your shins. Take an inhale, clear it out. And then we're going to step our feet towards our hands. Take your hands on your elbows and have a little swing here. Soften the knees if you need in ragdoll. Release any tension from the shoulders. And then let your hands drop down to the floor. Feel the ground with your hands. Press into your feet and inhale. Rise your hands up over your head. Interlace your palms, stretch up to the sky, stretch over to the right, opening up through the side body. Back to the center and over to the left. Back to the center, bring your hands to your heart, feet hip distance, standing at the short edge of your mat. Inhale, sweeping your hands up to the sky. We're going to invite the sun in with a sun salutation. Exhale, folding forward, bringing your hands either onto two blocks, onto the thighs or onto the shins, wherever you feel, or one block if you have it. Inhale, look forward, straighten the legs, flatten the back. Exhale, hands come down to the floor, step back to plank pose. Take a breath here, drop your knees, float down onto your belly, and then inhale, lifting up. Hug the upper arm bones in, shoulders away from the ears, and coming into downward facing dog. Maybe take another little pedal out of the feet and let out any releases through the breath. Take an inhale here, exhale side out through the mouth. The bottom of your exhale, step your feet to the front of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift, stretching into the hamstrings, into the spine. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise. Bring your hands up over your head. And then bring your hands down to your heart. Beautiful. And this time just find a little engagement, a little lifting of the pelvic floor. Drawing the navel slightly back to the spine as you move. Inhale, bringing your hands up over your head. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, opening up the body this Monday. Exhale, stepping back either to plank or to all fours. Drop your knees, drop your chest, floating down onto the belly. Either finding Sphinx with the forearms down or hands under shoulders, and find Cobra. Press into the legs, press into the feet, but try not to hold tension in the bottom. Beautiful. Arms really hug into the body. Release down, press back, rolling back into child's pose. Taking some space. Inhale, root to rise, coming up to all fours, knees in alignment to hips, coming into downward facing dog. Take an inhale here. Exhale, clear it out. And step your feet to the front of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise. Bring your hands up over your head. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. And then we're going to step the right foot back. So step it back, coming onto the toes of the right foot, coming into our high lunge. There can be a little micro bend in that back knee. And then inhale, sweep your hands up to the sky. Take a big stretch up, palms facing each other. Press into that back heel. So you're really, really working on the legs. Take an inhale. Palms facing, and exhale, bring the palms down so the hands come behind you and you squeeze the triceps, draw navel to spine. And then again, inhale, look forward or look slightly up. Exhale, draw navel to spine, engaging your pelvic floor, squeezing the triceps. And again, inhale this time, press the palms and hook the right elbow. So either bring the hands to the heart and do a little twist from here, or hook the right elbow down over the knee. Okay, if you can manage that just for a minute, not for a minute, just for a breath. And then inhale, beautiful, bring your hands up to the sky. Last one, bring the hands to the heart and twist towards the bent leg. And then open the hands wide, drawing navel to spine, find pelvic floor, beautiful Cora. Bring your hands back to the center, inhale. Bring your hands to your heart and step forward. Change side, so the left leg comes back onto the ball of the foot, hips facing forward, draw navel to spine, a little zipping up of the pelvic floor. Sweep your hands up so your fingers are together. Your hands are like swords. Inhale, take the hands up to the sky, stretch up, lift up. And then as you exhale, hands come behind you, squeeze the upper arms, legs don't move. Inhale, exhale. And again. This time, bring the hands up, bring the palms together, and then either bring the hands to the heart and take a little twist to the right, or option to hook the elbow over the knee and come into a deeper twist. Just for a breath. Move into the feet, rise up, take your hands up above the sky. Bring your hands to your heart. I know it's hard on the legs. We're working the legs, and then twist towards the right with the palms pressing. Option to extend the arms into that twist. Come back to the center, hands come up to the sky. Inhale, exhale, frame the front foot. Step back to plank pose. I'm going to come into a little plank here, a little side plank. So option with side plank is to drop the knees and to take a version where your knee is down, and this is how your side plank looks, or to keep both knees off the floor and come into side plank from here. So see what feels right for your body. Take a breath. Try and find that lightness, lift through the core. Option to bring your left arm and hug it over the ear. Stay with me if you can. One more breath. Looking good. Beautiful. Coming back to our plank. A little tuck of the tailbone, a little arching of the spine. One breath. Exhale. Other side. So knee can come down onto the floor if you need. And extend if you've got a bad shoulder like me, then drop the knee. Breathe, draw navel back to spine, feel that strength. One more breath. And then coming back to our plank. Take a breath, back of the neck long, drop your knees, drop your torso, find your cobra, opening up through the heart. Exhale, release down, press back, knees wide, extended child's pose. Take a breath. Have some space in the body. Inhale, curling up to all fours. Let's press up, come into downward facing dog. And bring the left foot, sweep it just across to the right, to the middle of the mat. And take your right arm up, right leg up to the sky. Lift the right leg as high as you want to. So you can either keep it as mine is, or come onto the tiptoes of the left foot and lift it higher and even fan it over to the left side. And then inhale, lift the leg up again to the sky. And then exhale, plant. Actually, let's do this. Let's draw the thigh towards the belly and stack shoulders over the wrists. Okay, one more. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, thigh to belly, stack shoulders over wrists. One more time. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, plant your foot in between your hands. Pivot the back foot at a 45-degree angle. And then root to rise, coming up so that your hips face the long edge of your mat. So you're coming into warrior two. Drop your shoulders down away from your ears. Bring your back hand down onto the straight leg thigh. Bring your front arm up and over. And then exhale, bring the front forearm down to the thigh. Bring the left arm up and over. Pressing into the feet. Do this 3 more times so the legs don't move. And we're sort of drawing the heel and the arch. We're pressing down into the feet and drawing together. The legs are really strong. It's just the movement just comes from the upper body. Lovely. Legs don't move. Lovely. Making this your last one. And then we're going to come into a little version of a twist here. So bringing your forearm down onto the thigh and then bringing your left arm around, either onto the small of the back, or the left arm can come all the way round to the right hip crease, and then draw this left shoulder back. So there's like a little kind of twist going on. Beautiful. Take a breath. Your gaze is either forward or looking slightly up. Root to rise coming up. And then root to rise, option to take that further or to do the same again. So same again would be this as I'm doing now, or you can drop this right hand under the leg and either just touch your crutch or your bum, or your hands can meet. But wherever you are, see if you can draw this left shoulder up a little bit. Very strong on the legs, so see how you feel. Beautiful. Press into the feet, release, come up. Windmill your hands down either side of that front foot. Coming back to plank or all fours. Dropping your knees, dropping your torso. Inhale, cobra, baby cobra or sphinx. And then pressing down. Releasing back just for a little breath into extended child. We're keeping moving this Monday morning. Inhale, coming up to all fours. Cat cow, or coming into downward facing dog with me. A little pedal out of the feet. Slide the right foot across to the middle. Lift the left leg and you can stay here, or you can take it a bit further, coming onto the tippy toe of the right foot and lift that left leg higher and even fan it over, if that feels okay for your hips. Take a breath, keep pressing into the hands. Straighten the leg, come back down onto the heel of the right foot, and then plant your foot in between your hands, and we're going to swivel the legs, the hips, so we come to the long edge of the mat. Take the arms wide, drop shoulders down away from ears. Dancing warrior. The legs don't move. You're really activating the inner thighs. And you're pressing into the feet. Beautiful. Last one. And then bring the forearm down, palm facing up. And then option to find a little bind. So this right hand comes around, either just sits on the small of the back or comes all the way around to the hip crease. And you roll this right shoulder open, either looking up to the ceiling or looking ahead. Breathe. One more breath. And then root to rise, coming back up. Option to take that again, or to hook this left arm under and find a bind in some way. Too strong for my shoulder today, so listen to what your body needs. And then root to rise, coming back up to warrior two, your strength, your empowered pose, and then swiveling your hips, taking your hands up to the sky, and exhale, frame the front foot, step back to plank pose, drop your knees, flow all the way down onto the belly, find your sphinx, your cobra with the triceps hugging in, release down, pressing back, pressing all the way back. We're going to come back into a seated pose. Check the time. We're going to come back into a seated pose, and we're going to do a little bit of core work. So we're either going to come where we sit with the feet down. If you struggle with low back pain and you need an easier version, then this is where you will be today. Alternatively, you're going to bring the legs together, or you can actually put, if you have a block handy, you can put a block in between the thighs and squeeze that, or squeeze the legs together and then bring the legs up. So option to hold onto the legs, or option, more advanced option, to release. Okay, so see what feels right for your body today. You can work with this version. The block helps to activate the pelvic floor. So if you're doing the version on the floor, you're just moving like this. And if you're bringing the legs up, you're rolling the shoulders back. So we're really working on the belly, palms facing up to the sky. Take a little smile, and then we're just gonna move. See how this feels for your hip. If it's too strong, do the version where the feet come down. We'll do 4 more. It's really strong for the belly. 2 and 1. Beautiful. Bring your feet to the floor. Hug your legs in. And then we're going to take a little twist here. So bring your left foot under and bring your right foot over the top, if you can, in some way. So your right foot is over the top and you're hugging into the leg in some way. So you're going to inhale first of all, and then we're just going to stretch towards the right. See that, how that feels for your belly. And then come back to the center. If you want to take that a little bit deeper, we're going to take that right hand behind you, take the left arm up, inhale, and then bring the left hand over the knee, lift up out of the hips and stretch towards the right. Take a breath. And then come back to the center. And then depending on how flexible you are in the hips, you may keep the legs like this, or your knees may come down so they're kind of facing each other, but don't worry if that doesn't happen for you. Then you're going to bring your right arm up to the sky. So the same arm as leg that's bent on top. And then bring that arm behind you. Now, if you don't have a bad shoulder like I have, you can maybe bring your hands towards each other. If you've got a bad shoulder, then just work with one arm. So I'm only going to work with this one arm today. Take an inhale, lift up, lift the chest, and then exhale, fold forward. You should feel a nice stretch in the glutes, in the bottom. And then inhale, coming up, releasing both of your arms, stretching up to the sky. And then exhale, float forward, walk the hands as far forward as you can. Bringing the head down. And then bring your hands up to the sky, bring your hands behind you, walk your hands behind you, lift the chest, opening up to our week. And then let's change legs. Bring in the left leg on top with the feet down. So we want the knee quite high so we can kind of hug the knee in this little twist. And the twisting poses are good because they fire up our digestion. Inhale, stretch up. And then exhale, just a little baby twist. Coming back to the center. And then bringing the left hand by the side of the body, taking the right arm up, inhale. And then bringing that right elbow over the knee, lift up and stretch. One more breath. And come back to the center. And we're gonna, if you can let the knees come down a little bit, some people have their knees like kind of facing, but let that top knee drop down a little bit if your hips will allow. And then you're gonna bring your left arm up to the sky and then bend the left arm. I can't do this fully because my shoulder doesn't give me that mobility. And then your right arm is going to come up the back behind you. You can do this with a strap in the hand as well, it makes it easier, but just wherever you are, wherever you can be. So today this is where I am. And then just release the shoulders back and down, just opening up through the chest. Take a breath. And then start to release forward. Just wherever you get to. One more breath. And then root to rise, coming up, releasing both hands up to the sky, stretch up, lift up, and then exhale, bringing your hands forward, connecting to the ground. And then inhale, bringing both hands up, bringing them behind you, walking the hands back, option to lift the hips or to just lift the chest. And then release, and then we'll do a little reverse tabletop. So bringing your feet hip distance on the floor and bringing your hands behind you. My hands are out to the side slightly, but your hands can be facing back. And then from here, just lifting. And for me, this is quite difficult because of my shoulder. So just find a way. Maybe it's just a little lift like I'm doing now, or maybe you feel quite open and you can go all the way back. And again, one more. And then release down on to the back. Bring your knees into your belly. And we're going to drop the knees over to the left with our shoulders down on the ground. Take the arms wide and look towards the right side. So both knees are down towards the left and you're looking towards the right. This is again belly twist. Good to fire up the digestion, our metabolism. more breath. And then let's bring the knees to the other side, all the way to the right. Look towards the left. Let the shoulders drop down. Feel that lovely stretch across the top of the back. And then come back to the center. So before we come into our short Shavasana, we're just going to take the legs up. So both of my legs are kind of hip distance and my legs are just hanging up. And then I'm also going to bring my arms up. And then I'm going to drop my shoulders down. Okay, so my palms are facing each other and my feet are just floating in space. And we're just going to take a couple of breaths here. And this is very good for women because it helps our lymph and it drains towards the lymph nodes that are in the breast. So just taking a little breath. Exhale. And then releasing your legs down. We just take a couple of minutes in Shavasana, in this little micro class that we do. Bodies to absorb the movement. Gonna lay here for another minute. Last breath, and then start to find a stretch in the body, wiggling the fingers and the toes. Draw your knees into your belly, take a little rock, rocking and rolling or rolling to the side to come up to seated. And let's finish with a little balancing breathing technique. So we're going to finish with Nadi Shodhana just to bring us into balance today. So we're going to bring the index finger and the middle finger down onto the thumb mound. We're going to use the thumb and the ring finger. And we bring the opposite hand into Gyan Mudra. So the index finger is just under the thumb and that hand is resting down. Okay, so we're going to work with a little bit of breath retention, but this is optional. And we want to try to connect to the out breath and slow the out breath down. Okay, so the thumb comes onto the right nostril, quite high on the bridge of the nose. Inhale through the left. Option to retain, press down the left nostril and exhale thumb side. Inhale, same side. Retain. Thumb comes down, release left side. Hold on empty. Inhale, same side. Close the nostril, retain. Exhale, right side. Inhale, same side. Close both nostrils, retain. Exhale, left side. Option to pause. Inhale, same side. Close both nostrils, retain. Last one. Exhale, right side. Bring both hands down into Gyan Mudra. Just take a moment to notice how you feel. And we'll just close out our practice with 3 Sohams, always optional. My arm comes up, feeling connected. Soham is I am that, I am connected. Soham. Soham. Bring our hands together at our heart. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Namaste. Thank you, thank you.